Okay, welcome to the show called the HostAfrica. I go by the name Paddy Dee Nangabo. Msajja yedire Lugabi, Engabi, Nangabo, James Simuka. Oh my basogas, East African, Easterners, how are you? Yeah, I'm with my sister on the side, and I'm with my brother on the side. I go with the brother first. As you can see, it's called the name Mochibi. Don't, yeah. And the lady here is called Pauline, but they will introduce themselves. Let me start with the lady. Hello.
Hi, my name is Pauline Nangabo. From representing Rap&Sons. I'm the CEO and founder of Rap&Sons, based here in UK.
And you're born in Ghana?
Yes, I'm a Ugandan, proud to be.
And then the Mr. here is Mr. Mochibi.
Yeah, Mochibi, proud son of Mugabe clan in Uganda. Ashley Redding, CEO of Bounce. But those who know me very well know me as Mochibi. So proud to be here.
Good. Well, now I'm having you here. We're going to talk about both of your companies, Rap&Sons and then Bounce.
Yeah.
Letting the community know what they need to do. And I can't wait, and they can't wait. Let me start with Pauline. Pauline, tell me about yourself. I know you told me the name, and you told me the name. Tell me about yourself, and where did you grow up? Here or Uganda?
Oh, I'm born and bred in Uganda. I've lived here for over 25 years and enjoy working here. I'm so much accustomed to the UK lifestyle. And the main reason we're here is to represent my community, to empower, support, subsidize our community, to start appreciating the insurance that you have up there to plan and prepare for tomorrow.
So that would have been my next question. Who are Rap&Sons, and what do they do? So you just say it. Okay. Mr.
Same question to me?
Same question. Where did you grow up? You might be from Uganda.
Yeah, yes, never assume. Never assume. Born and bred here in the UK, in England. But actually working with Pauline Rap&Sons, grown to love and respect the diaspora, the Ugandan community in particular, here. Lovely people, wonderful community, loving, but again, we all want to live for today, but I'm finding we've got to educate more people to appreciate that tomorrow's going to promise. I know Pauline's going to talk about that more in a minute, but we've got to do our bit to help more people. So the more I've grown to know the Ugandan community in the UK, the more we want to do to help them protect tomorrow.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Pauline, why did you decide to work with Bounce and the other company which we'll go to? I'll mention it, T-Creeps. Yeah. At the end, why did you decide to work with him? CEO of the Bounce.
Basically, I started with protecting myself.
Yeah.
I started taking up the cover initially, and which must say took some time. I had a friend of mine who introduced me, who was working with Bounce at the time, and they were selling the insurance covers, and I said, you know what, I'm already covered. It kind of dragged my feet. But there were some initiatives. I started seeing how is this going to the gym. She had the watch, and I'm like, oh, how'd you get that? It's like, well, Bounce, I told you. I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm interested. Maybe it was also need that. I said, no, I'm interested. So how did you get that? And then I had to sign up for my own protection, brought in my family, and then I started understanding the actual importance of having these protections. And then you know what? I knew if I cover myself, protect myself, my family around it, my friends around it, and then we had to start spreading out to the community. So that's when I fully joined Bounce. Okay. And then from there, I started my own company and then became partners. And it has just been a good marriage, hasn't it?
Yes,
it's a good marriage. So, Mr. Mochibi, how long have you worked with you together? Like how many years?
Years. Years and years and years. I mean,
But you mentioned your marriage.
5 years.
In
Marriage,
this.
I
yeah.
think it's 5 years.
Yeah, about 5 years.
Yeah,
Look, the truth is, insurance, let's call it what it is. Insurance is not the most exciting thing in the world.
Yeah.
It's needed, it's important, but no one's going to leap out of bed and say, I'm not about some life insurance today. And I think the one thing that we connected between Rap&Sons and Bounce was that we were a bit different. We were a bit of splash of colour in what is known as a bit of a boring grey industry. And I think it's one thing that has attracted you to us, or us to you, I should say. So we had some fun with it. We made the whole conversation around protection fun, if you can believe that. It was quite light-hearted. It's important, but it doesn't need to be heavy. And I think that's what we did. And we've continued to bring an element of fun and playfulness to an industry that's pretty dull and boring. And I think that's why people like to come to us.
Also, most importantly, is bringing in the reality.
Yeah.
The reality of it. Because I remember when we started, we didn't have the funeral cover aspect of it. Now, working with my community, knowing that insurance is, we don't have a culture of insurance. We come from a culture where there's no insurance. But people are dying day in, day out here. And then realizing that actually people are struggling, families are struggling to raise funds. Then we created, we talked about creating the funeral cover package.
Both of
in
you.
addition to
I can't take any credit for it. It was Pauline's idea. I've got to be honest.
Oh, it was
and,
our idea?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
and as you know, it's nothing fun about it. Nobody wants to talk about funeral cover. And we are here debating who's going to listen to it. But I remember Machili saying, so how are we going to introduce this? I said, you know what? Let's start in the church. Let's start with the priests or the pastors. And then we started going around with my brother here, preaching about this funeral cover. Because it's a very small package, but fit for the purpose. People are still losing loved ones. Not everybody has life insurance, but then you can have that package for the purpose of the funeral, for the purpose of the repatriation. And then it took on. It's actually quite shocking that there are people who don't have it.
Oh yeah, I think it's disgraceful. I think it's utterly disgraceful. We say it sometimes, it's your life, it's your funeral, it's your responsibility, it's no one else's responsibility. And there are still people around, a large percentage of the diaspora, I would say, still have not protected their families, their loved ones, and paid for their funeral or provided for the cost of the funeral when they die. It's sheer madness.
We have gone through this pandemic whereby you would imagine I would say 90% or more in UK, you have either witnessed a funeral of your friend, a funeral of your family, a funeral in the community, where a majority of the family are struggling to fundraise, to create funds.
Okay, both of you, how has COVID-19 impacted and affected your job? Just tell us.
Shall I go first? Well, very simple for me. It's increased awareness and increased availability for people to take action and protect their loved ones, their family, their funerals. So it's you can't ignore the fact that people are dying all around the world. You can't ignore the fact that people or the diaspora are dying here in the UK. So it's increased awareness. And people are taking action, doing something about it. Not enough. We need more. But that for me is two things: awareness and awareness, education, and availability. Three things.
I can't agree more. But for me, what it does is has frustrated me.
In the community?
In the community. It's very stressful. I've witnessed so many families in despair. So many families going through pain of losing a loved one, and the financial pain that there's no funds. For me, that is very, very frustrating. And some of the families, them, there is children involved, and there's no funds. We have a solution to that. People just need to actively take action, like now, because we have witnessed, and the time is now to prevent further stress, to prevent more pain. Because losing a loved one is more painful. It's painful enough to think about the funds. So you need to just plan. We really need to come to the reality that death is upon us.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a matter of when and how. It has no age limit. It has no any other preparation than to get yourself ready and restore your peace of mind. Protect your family now and tomorrow. You know, because we all know once you've gone,
That's it.
that's it,
Yeah,
really.
that's it. Pauline, how do you handle the emotions of the job?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, but I thank God that I can actually stop at one point and then be there for the families.
Yeah.
It's very tough. It's very frustrating. It's very, and what hits me most sometimes is people I know.
Yeah.
People I know. Believe it or not, we are such a small community.
Yeah.
I know almost 70% of these communities losing their loved ones, and it hits me as a person as well. But what then gets me down is seeing some of the families being more affected by funds.
It's such a quick, easy, and affordable solution. I mean, we discuss this all the time about saying, well, what will make someone take action? The humility, the embarrassment, the disgrace to the family if they don't, possibly. Is it the fact that they can't afford it? No, because every plan is always affordable. We work the plan around what they can afford.
Yes.
If all they can afford is £5 a month, so fine. You may not get much of a payout, but something's better than nothing.
Yes.
So affordability isn't an obstacle either. It's not. It shouldn't be a barrier.
Yes.
It should never be. But the perception is people think, well, I won't have a phone call with an advisor to take out a funeral plan because it might be too expensive. So that's maybe someone's fear, that they don't want to be embarrassed in the event of the phone call. But that would never be the case. We've got to overcome that as well and tell people, look, it's fine, don't worry. It will always be affordable for you. It will always be affordable for you. We'll make one of our advisors will make sure it is. Sometimes, people take action for one or two reasons: fear or greed. Friends, but they want to make sure their families are looked after, or they fear their families will be embarrassed or humiliated if they don't. But we have to get over these barriers, and it might well be a cultural thing as well. That don't talk about death. We don't talk about what happens, and rather just brush it under the carpet and ignore it and pretend it will never happen.
We have also explained, because I've had a lot of questions, families asking, we're in diaspora, we come from Uganda or any other African destination. What if I don't want to retire here? What happens to my funds? We want to make it clear. As long as your account is active, your premium is going into your account, you can live wherever you are. Because even if you wanted to stay here and you pass, it's not going to be you to receive that money and process the celebration of your life. As long as your account is active, you can move back to any African destination and maybe retire there. So the point is, take the cover now, restore your peace of mind, protect yourself, and protect tomorrow, protect your loved ones, so that you can have a decent set-off.
Ashley,
Yes.
how would you advise anyone that is interested in joining the business job? Before you answer that, are you an emotional gentleman?
Oh, of course. You can't.
Do you get emotion whereby you come out, with the family, they are in front of your face, you're trying to help them out, and then you just get emotional and then break down?
I get emotional, I get irritated if they don't take my advice, of course. I've been in meetings before where I've been saying to a family about insurance, protecting your children, protecting each other, husband and wife. And sometimes, and I see the children, and sometimes when I get to the point of, I know it's affordable because I know they can afford it. It's not a big, it's only might represent 1% of their income.
Yes.
So everyone can afford it. In fact, they're spending more money on their mobile phone insurance, more money on their car insurance, more money on protecting their dog than they do on protecting their children. So that irritates me. And sometimes I do say to people, right, if you don't want to pay for it, I'll pay for it. Which means that I must love your kids more than you do. Now that tends to hit home.
Yeah.
So I do get irritated, I do get emotional because sometimes you've got to bring a bit of emotion to the party. So to answer just to circle back and answer your other question, to join the business, then if you've got all those things, if you've got all those qualities, and then willing to work hard and try and help other people, make a difference to other people's lives, and you've got some passion and a bit of energy and emotion, then join Rap&Sons and be a rapper.
Absolutely. I mean, it's no rocket science. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and I said, you know what? If you protect yourself, that means you're not going to be a burden to anyone, not your family, not your children, not your friends around, and your community. Then you move the circle, you make a circle, that's you. Then go around your circle, inform these people that you protected, you're not going to be a burden to them, so you don't want them to be a burden to you. Because with death, you don't know who's going to go first.
Yes.
So after that circle, go the next circle around. It's basically, if I protected myself and I passed, I'm not a burden to you.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to be a burden to me just in case.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. So you go around the circle, and everybody gets protected. Everybody gets a peace of mind.
Yeah.
Your children are secure.
So, Pauline, what are the current issues you face in the Ugandan community? When you're trying to one-on-one, you find a group, you tell them this, you find this.
It's just what Michilia said, is just the frustration of what is there not to understand. We are in this together. We have seen it. We are in it currently. We are losing our loved one with no funds. Wouldn't you appreciate having money on the side other than, could you set up the GoFundMe?
Yeah,
And then looking there is £100.
Yeah.
And oh my God, 20, somebody adds another £20. Oh my God, that frustration.
And
When
some of
the
them even get
solution-
upset when you put less.
When the
They expect to-
solution is here.
Well, I mean, I'll give an analogy because let's just try and let's have some fun with this and put an analogy to what is actually happening at the moment. So compare it to this. I'm 50. I've got a birthday, my 50th birthday.
No, yeah.
No, I'm actually 51, but never mind. But just for the sake of my game here, let's assume I'm just turning 50, and I've got a party, a 50th birthday party at my house. Forget the fact that we're in a lockdown. And I want 100 of my friends coming to my birthday party, my 50th. I'm the host, and I'm the celebrant, and I'm the centre of the party. My 50th. So everyone comes along, and there's food laid out, and there's some drink laid out, and right. So I get one. There's 100 people there, and they can't have any drink, they can't have any food until I've asked every single person for 100 quid. So they've got to give me £100. I've got to go around and say £100 please, £100 please, £100. So I need 10 grand to pay for it. What do you think the reaction would be of every person if I go around asking for 100 quid? They'll say, why do you want 100 quid? It's your birthday, it's your 50th, why should I be paying for it? But that's exactly what's happening at the moment in the diaspora, in fact, in the whole of the UK for a lot of people, where they are expecting to have a party and charge everyone else.
And adding on what you just said, people still do those parties in clubs. You see someone organizing a birthday bash,
charge everyone
and they
100
charge someone £20, £30 to come in.
Well, that's just luxury. You can choose not to pay for it, but we're talking about a scenario here when somebody is actually gone.
Yeah.
You can't say, well, I can do the party with 50 people, well, I can do the party without the cake. No, this person has to be celebrated. Either has to be buried or has to be repatriated.
It should be the biggest party of your life. It should be the biggest celebration of your life.
So it shouldn't be left to the family, it shouldn't be left to the friends and community.
How can Rap&Sons and Bounce help overcome these problems?
HostAfrica.
Community.
HostAfrica.
That's what we did.
That's what HostAfrica are going to solve all the problems. We're going to get you to send it out to everyone. Everyone's going to listen to you and your show and everything and say, well, I'm going to take action. I'm going to contact Paul at Rap&Sons. I'm going to make an appointment with an advisor from Cream They'll look after us, they'll do all the right things, and we'll be fine. And just make sure we're fully protected.
You're going to have to take the offers that we're giving.
Yeah.
3 months, free premium.
3 months.
One free. £130 worth of your wheel service. So, I mean, what a better time. Normally people will say, oh, you know what, I can't afford at the moment. No, we work around you.
Yeah.
It's bespoke to what you can afford. And I always tell people as well, don't look at the £10,000 package. At least have something. Take a package that you can afford comfortably to pay for. It's better than nothing. Even if you have £5,000 in your package, it's better than having nothing at all. You know, if people have to fundraise for you, at least they'll have something to start with. But not to say, you know, I can't afford it, because it's very affordable.
So that's what you can offer to the community, you know, the Ugandan community and the African community.
Absolutely. And a message to those who are over 50. The over 50 plan, you don't need medical assessment, and if you have to pay in for 2 years. If you pass before the 2 years, we pay back every penny you've put back and 50% on top of that.
Yeah.
If you are healthy enough and lived up to 90 years, you're still paying into your premium, but your premium will be live until God says now. So that's something to think about. There is a lot of people out there who have not been into the culture of getting insurance. They've passed the age of 50. There is hope for you. There is a chance for you to protect yourself. But the sooner you take it, the better for you.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Because some people assume I won't get insurance because I've got X, Y, or Z medical condition. So don't assume you can't be insured, because our advisors and recruitment advisors at Cream are phenomenal, and they've got access to all the products with all the providers, the very best prices. So don't worry, that we should be able to find a provider for you that will help you with the insurance that you need.
But also key point here is it's very, very important. It's paramount that you don't hold back any health information.
That's what
if you are over 50 years.
Yeah.
Because the minute you hold back any information, the inevitable strikes, it flags up on your death certificate, your cover is invalid.
Right.
It's very important you disclose all your medical issues, you get the right premium, other than holding back, and then you get maybe a lower premium, which is nothing if you pass and this is flagged up.
To both of you, do you think that African community, are they worried or are they scared to come and then tell their healthy issues? Do you think that can hold back? Have you experienced that? Whereby someone will not come face to face and then say, listen, this is what I'm having, this is what I'm having, this is what I'm having. And with Pauline side, because she's in a community, some people must say, oh, Pauline knows me for 20 years. How am I gonna go and then join Pauline's company and then I have to explain?
Well, they don't have to explain anything
They
to
don't
Pauline.
have.
Just then explain to the advisors. Pauline's front of house, introducing the business to the advisors. At back of house. So that
then there will be an advisor who is not known.
Private.
I think this is a conversation I actually had with one of the referral yesterday, explaining, or why am I being referred to legal in general? I thought I'm going to be referred to Rap&Sons, or I'm going to be referred to AIG. We're a broker company here. So when the advisors are speaking to you, they source out the best insurance provider for your needs. And then you are dealing directly with them. The documentation,
they don't even know you, they've never seen you.
And they don't have to. The beauty you have here is, if we live long enough and the inevitable strikes, we're here to advise you. We're here to run through the process of probably going through the claim. So we're here because also we need to make it clear. People sometimes are not clear who's Bounce, who's Rap&Sons, and then who are the other insurance providers that they have to receive the documentation from. The beauty of this is We are here to shop around the best insurance provider for you.
So the community need to know, let me just add it on, with my understand, community need to know that, listen, this gentleman and this lady, they're here to talk to you, to let you know that this is what you need to do, and then they will be people you've never seen before.
Correct.
And they will guide you, they will tell you. So my brothers and sisters, please don't get worried to face Pauline and then tell her, this is what I want, and then connect me to where I need to.
She'll facilitate the appointment with the advisor. She'll make it happen, book it in the diary, make sure it happens, that's all. But then she won't be involved in that conversation. It'll be private and confidential between the Rap&Sons referral and the advisor.
So your information is confidential.
Yes.
And protected.
People just join. All right. Okay. This sounds stressful. How do you handle the situation? Stressful.
It's not stressful at all.
Huh?
Not stressful at all.
You sure?
Yeah. No, very simple.
It's very. It takes 10-15 minutes to really sign up
Piece of cake.
and get protected.
You know what's stressful? I think taking out car insurance is stressful. I get that. That is very stressful. That whole process. Nightmare. This is easy.
You think the car insurance is stressful?
I think
Nowadays you just sit on the line and boom.
No, yeah, but that's where you get it wrong. So that's probably that's when there's a claim happens, it won't pay out because you've done it through a computer yourself. Like execution only, I wouldn't trust that.
Okay.
But the beauty of speaking to someone is you can revise your needs.
Yes.
You can revise the financial affordability. Instead of going online and ticking in boxes and then the quote comes down, you can't afford it, I don't need this anyway. You're speaking to a person, you're revising what you can afford, you're going through your needs and changing what doesn't suit you. So, you can be that 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, and you are protected. You can't be that.
Actually, do you have a specific client type that you are most comfortable working with? Or
one that's alive.
Yeah, that's a nice
That's it.
That's it.
Because when it's a little bit late when they've suddenly been diagnosed with cancer or had a heart attack. Often they're the ones that pick up the phone to you straight away and say, I need some insurance now. It's like bringing abnormal car insurance when you've written your car off and you've forgotten to take out car insurance. Happens a lot. And I always know when they want life insurance, I know it's too late. So my ideal client is one that's alive and reasonably healthy.
I would say for me is anyone below the age of 50 who can take up the cover and at least protect themselves straight away.
Yeah.
And I know we hammer so much about the funeral cover, but we have the serious illness cover. We have the income protection. I think the three kind of marries together because before you actually pass to need the funeral cover, you may become unwell at one point. You need plan B. You need that protection. If you are working, if you became unwell and you can't work, you are not dead, then what happens? You are you have to pay bills, they won't know you are not well. So I think the income protection, the serious illness, and the funeral cover should just be the three that must have.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
How much support do you offer during the process, the claim process? Let's just, I'll give you the microphone. You tell the claim process, and then she will do as well.
It's very simple. Look, I mean, from start to finish, from beginning to end, we look after the client from being referred by Pauline all the way to speaking to the cream advisor, to the process of the application, the underwriting, the sending the documents, and then there's very little to do when the person's then just getting on with their life. And then if something happens and they pass away, that's when we really get to work. And the claims process is very slick, it's quite quick, as long as all the death certificate is there, it should be paid out pretty quickly. So it's a very straightforward process from start to finish.
Just to emphasize on that, sometimes what creates the delay is lack of information on time, delaying information from the next of kin.
Yes.
We had a case recently which dragged on, and it's just an understanding from the next of kin that information is required. When there is so much, how can I call it? Once we receive the death certificate, there will be a list of illnesses, and some of that illnesses, if they were not disclosed at the time of taking up the cover, then the insurance provider has to get information from the GP to identify whether that information was disclosed at the time of taking up the cover. So there could be a delay there. It's very important for families to understand. This is why we say it's very important to disclose all the health concerns you have at the point in time, because when they're flagged up on the death certificate, it will cause the delay to issue out the payment to your next of kin if it wasn't there. And at that point in time, if it wasn't disclosed and you had those illnesses, I'm afraid it will invalidate the cover.
So you face calling exactly this is what
That happens it's about 3% of the time when there's no disclosure because someone's lied on the application. 97% of the time it pays out and the funeral's paid for.
Yeah. But then we had that issue where, remember that...
Why are you always talking about the issues?
Because, no.
There is issues.
You know what? Because
3% of the time.
3%.
No.
97% of the time people's funerals are paid for.
Yep. But Machibi, the reason we have to talk about the issues, because the African community or some community or people I speak to, they're like, they don't have trust in insurance. And
Should we say black community?
I wouldn't want to number that, but in general, they will say, insurance will never pay out. People need to understand why the insurance doesn't pay out.
Because they lie.
You understand? Exactly.
Because they lie on the application.
That's
like saying to you,
And this is why you're here.
I want to assure my BMW you've had 3 traffic offences, speeding offences, and you've had 4 or 5 other crashes. You tell the insurance company you've got a clean bill of health when you're driving. So if you lie and then you smash your car up, you're not expecting the insurance to pay out. You can't then moan if the insurance company doesn't pay out. Because you've lied.
Yes.
Who's the one that's being distrustful? The insurance company or the individual? So
exactly. That's why it's very important
to tell the truth.
People to know that the insurance provider will have access to that medical record to identify that this list on the death certificate, was it there before or after?
There's no point paying 20, 30, 40 pounds a month if you know you just lied.
And this is why the community need to know that you are there to help them out. And before joining, telling, listen, if you lie here, trust me, in 10 years, 20 years, this is gonna be a problem. It will catch you up.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, that is good. That is a good explanation. That is a nice one. So, Pauline, this is straight to you. What can you offer the Ugandan community to motivate them?
Well, what have we not said? The offer we have at the moment
to the Ugandan community.
The Ugandan community is we offer you 1 month free premium, and we offer you £130 worth of will service. It's very important for our community to write up the wills. We have seen the issues happening when we lose loved ones, when things are not written down. Often people will say, well, I don't have much property to write down. I don't have really
kids.
But as simple as writing down how you would want your life to be celebrated is good enough. We have had people who have been buried here when their wishes were to be repatriated. Or we've had people who were repatriated when their wishes was to be buried here or cremated. So those simple information to be written down in your will is very paramount.
So this 1 month, is it when they come and join, they might join in June, you still give them the month?
I think we're going to run it to the end of May, something like that. Is that right? So they have to take action now. They can run for like the end of May.
So let's say someone watched this in June and they want to join.
Then they're too late. They can still take out their insurance policy, but they won't get the 1 month free. But but they'll get the free will worth £130, just won't get that extra 1 month for free. So here's our best advice. Take action today.
Today.
Take action today.
Tomorrow is no promise for anyone. Action today.
Oh, wow. Anyway, I'm enjoying, what you just put out there for the community. I wish I could have you the whole 2 hours just talking about it, because there is a lot to talk about. And there is a
what
lot
they say about one word is enough.
Yeah, well, I think you've done your job.
Good.
And you're still doing your job. Thank you so much for coming to my show.
Thank you
I
very
really
much.
appreciate it. You giving me more information. And me personally, I've learned some from you, which I'm gonna pass around to my people who are saying, oh, you know what? I don't know. I don't trust, Pauline. I don't trust Mochibi. But I'm gonna let them know that it's not Mochibi you're gonna deal with. Mochibi is gonna advise you. He's gonna correct you how to fill out this form. Pauline is gonna advise you how to fill out this form. And then there will be people you've never seen trying to help you out. Yeah. So it's private and confidential. Don't worry. Thank you so much. You've been on the HostAfrica, and the name Paddy Dee Nangabo, Pauline Najuma, and Ashley Muchibi. Mr. Muchibi Lugave.
Absolutely.
Have you got a few words to say in Uganda?
Oh no, I knew you were going to say it to me. I learned Mukwano the other day.
Mukwano, love.
So I'll leave it to that.
Love.
It's not where that came from, but another time.
And then, Pauline Najuma, have you got any words in Uganda to say to the Ugandan community?
Mubatuuliriza tuno webalina otuwa omukisa okubeera ku HostAfrica. Katusuubire nti no byetwogedde bikukwatako gwawuliriza, era katusuubire nti no ogenda kubiteeka mu nkola.
Thank you so much. Mwebale nnyo mwebalire ddala for watching this program. See you soon, and I sign out.